Our flamers could even, they're just kind of holding off for now. If they get close, we can throw some incendiary grenades. There we go. Kind of stops them from pushing as hard. And they're also getting absolutely destroyed by my grenades and flamethrowers. There's quite a few of them, though. I don't know if we can keep them at bay. The flames are helping a lot, slowing them down. And are they even going to get to us? The flames are a little bit... Oh, come on, come on, come on, get him. Just in time. Alright, howdy folks, and welcome to Starship Troopers Terran Command. Slitherine actually gave me a few days early access to this awesome upcoming RTS. To me, it's like a mix of World in Conflict and Company of Heroes now meets Starship Troopers, with not too much base building and more focus on just keeping your army running. Also with upgradable abilities and a large campaign, this game feels like a true homage to the movies. I've linked the store page in the description with the game releasing in just about a week. I also plan to play through the game quite a bit, so if you want more of this, let me know and I'll have more up on the channel very soon. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you in the next one.
We now take you live to Klendathu, where the invasion has begun.
Alright, so this is a little special mission. I guess it's sort of maybe a tutorial even, which is the Battle of Klendathu, which is where the very first scenes really happen in Starship Troopers, or some of the first battle scenes anyway. I recently only watched the movie, the original, the first one, by Paul Verhoeven, a Dutch director, by the way, great director, because I knew this game was going to come out, and I had actually planned to make sort of a preview video, but then Slitherine awesomely said, hey, do you want to just play the game a little bit instead of making, you know, a sort of preview video? And I said, hell yeah. So you are obviously the Mobile Infantry as the main sort of force in Starship Troopers, though there are some more units than just regular infantry. But initially we were defending. This is very much from the first movie, though the game itself doesn't take place on Klendathu. It takes place on a different planet, which is just slightly different from the movie, I think, so they can kind of create their own story and their own lore. A big thing about this game is it's an RTS, but you don't actually build a base. There is some base building, but it's not like Command & Conquer where you build your barracks and a refinery. Basically, complete objectives in the game, and this gives you different currencies, and this can be spent on infantry or structures or turrets, but this isn't a full-on RTS where you mine for ore and you build a base. There is a little bit of a base building thing, which I think we get to see in the next mission, and a large part of what makes this a special or different RTS is that infantry can only fire at stuff that's right in front of them. So if I were to use or put this unit behind this unit, I can't shoot through them. You can shoot over units, and certain units, for example the Rocketeers, they can shoot over infantry, or certain units like the Commanders, they can be shot around. In general, the main infantry unit here being the Rifle Troopers, and a lot of other units, they can't shoot through other units, which makes it very important how you set up your units using terrain, especially terrain advantage here on the flank as we are... Oh, there's a lot of warriors. Let's throw a grenade. Grenade out. The grenade has a nice stun to it as well. Units have veterancy, but we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, basically, height is huge. You want to make sure your infantry has the height advantage. Right now, these guys are not being blocked by mine, so they could shoot. But there is the chance where you're having, if you have a lot of units around, that you are blocking your own force. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to make sure that all of your units can fire all the time. So again, this is the scenes from the first movie where they just took out the plasma bugs that were trying to shoot down the ships in space. And I don't really think I have to give a background story to Starship Troopers. I mean, it's pretty box standard. You know, humans go into space because there's this alien race of bugs called the Arachnids who are trying to destroy planets and eventually potentially get to Earth, and they obviously want to prevent that by kind of going to one of their planets. But it turns out that I believe this is only one of many planets out there that have, you know, bugs on them. You can also see here real quick, I can't pause it, but you could see it, you cannot see up terrain. So if it wasn't for these guys walking up here, you don't know what's waiting at the top, which kind of makes this an interesting RTS and a little different from how you normally spam like hundreds of units, Gates of Hell, or, you know, Command and Conquer style, where you're trying to line them up or have them all mixed in. You have to make sure here that your guys are always not blocking other units' line of fire.
As they advance upon this target, our troopers will wipe out any remaining Arachnid defenses.
The music in this game, by the way, Chef's Kiss, it's so good. They claim that there's sort of an action modifier where the music is calm and relaxed, but when there's action going on or a large bug attack like here, the music will swell up, and I've got to say the music here is really well done. It's good, I gotta say. As someone who appreciates good music in video games, this is pretty good. Alright, so we're currently sort of holding them back.
Against the brave men and women of the Mobile Infantry.
We can see this white thing, by the way, is their range. Oh, there's a tanker bug.
Fleet officials admit
and this is very much like the first movie. They're doing this cheesy voiceover, which is really good. I personally appreciate it. I think you have to see the movie to appreciate the cheesy voiceoverness. Right, get back to the drop ships. Come on, we gotta get out of here, boys.
Getting hammered by more plasma bugs. Casualty predictions already
There's so many bugs. All right, let's get on and. Oh, and we are left behind, which means we are probably going to meet a horrible, horrible death.
For more news on the situation.
All right, we have our division name, the 1st Sherman's Boyos. We're going to do normal. The only real difference that you can see here is that the weapon damage is modified from half to double, from easy to brutal. We're going to do normal. We're going to click enlist now, and we're going to play the first real mission, and then we're going to be playing a lot more of this game in the coming days.
A day that will live in infamy. But from tragedy springs hope, as the Federation rebuilds its fleet bigger and stronger than before. To fuel this war machine, all eyes are now on Kwalasha. Once an isolated outpost, this mineral-rich world has become a key part of humanity's battle for survival. But the planet's vital mining industry may now be in danger after reports of bugs on the surface. And so the Mobile Infantry answers humanity's call. These brave men and women will defend Kwalasha from any insect aggression.
Listen up, Lieutenant. The advance team kicked an anthill. Now they got more bugs than they know what to do with. We're here to save their asses. Let's do this by the book. Don't be a hero, and you won't need a body bag. You understand me? Let's go. On the bounce.
Alright, so first of all, very basic. Go save these guys. Here we can see, so these guys cannot fire at these bugs, and only the guys on the far right of this formation can fire at these ones because the majority of them are blocked by the initial ones. So you really want to make sure that in these tight corridors, you keep your guys spread as much as possible. Let's set up on the left of the formation here. We also have some snipers and a tactical officer. There's a lot of different units. They obviously all have their strengths and their weaknesses, but your mainline infantry is going to be these rifle troopers throughout the campaign. And a little different. There we go. You can see this little circle. This means they are not blocked. If it's red, they are fully blocked. And if you think if it's orange or yellowish, then they are slightly blocked. All right, we're dealing with the last couple of these warriors. The issue is you can't really advance and shoot. So you got to make small advances like World War I. All right, hold. Maybe you can throw a grenade or two and get some of these guys. Okay, there we go. And again, these first missions are very basic, very, explanatory. but they become a lot more free where you can kind of do your own thing. Definitely in this first mission, they really sort of force you to go through the same sort of path every time. That was a brutal napalm-esque bombing run, but all the bugs still survived. So we're going to deal with those ones, while I think the rest of the guys here are going to deal with that bug's nest, this one. So we actually got a level of veterancy. This actually has 2 levels of veterancy. I don't think veterancy really does anything until you get to level 3. At level 3, you get to choose an elite ability. Now, what you can do, you can click on this button right here for every unit. And you get a little explanation of their hit points, you know, sort of a basic sort of matchup, like how good they are versus other units or in general. And these are their special abilities. So the grenade I've already shown, but once a unit gets to level 3, you get to pick one of 2 elite abilities. And for the rifle troopers, it's either the mediocre, I think so far, boom bundle. Imagine a German hand grenade bundle from World War II, but that, you know, in space. They throw a bunch of grenades bundled together, but they do take a long time to explode, and it's really like super short range. My favorite is the shotgun suppression. They switch to the underslung shotguns for about 10 to 12 seconds, and then there's a cooldown, and that one is fantastic, especially when you have 2 or 3 of these squads. It doesn't matter how many bugs charge you, you demolish their ass. Okay, now they're hunting these civvies down and we can't really catch them. There's a little bit of fire on the move, but I've noticed that firing on the move is definitely not something that is easily done, and I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's not, but if it's not, I'm hoping they fix it, and if it is, then you need to do a lot of moving, stopping, firing, moving, stopping, firing. See, you gotta stop, then assault them, and then we move on. All right, let's get these supplies. We'll send one down here. All right, so our secondary objective is to get these ammo caches. I'm not sure if there's really a reason to secondary objectives or if it's just for fun. So far, I've not really gained anything from doing secondary objectives.
Let's lend them a hand.
Well, we got some... These guys are awesome, the combat pioneers. Let's set up on their flank, though, because obviously we want to make sure that we do not shoot through them. Well, because we can't. Okay, we're going to set up next to this car, because they got to either come to the left here or next to the cars. There we go. We have a little bit of a mixed formation going on here, so there we go. Now they're both green. We could even pre-throw a grenade, but it doesn't really seem they're going to be... Yeah, they're not going to be bothering us. Okay, perfect. Now we do have a little bit of a wounded unit. You can see the health here is this bar on the left. I'm not sure what the blue bar is. I think it might be accuracy. I haven't really figured that one out, I'll be honest with you. I've played a little bit of the game so far. Capture a radio station. So we'll see here what happens or how you actually use the resupply. This is interesting. If you've ever played Command & Conquer Generals, you have the dragon tanks that the Chinese had. The flamethrowers are sort of similar. They can throw these incendiary grenades that blocks movement, both yours and enemies, though, so you got to keep that in mind. But you should not be really in a big amount of trouble, because usually what you do is just block off areas for the enemy so they can't push up on you. Okay, we got a little bit of enemies left here. See, this is not as bad. This is bad. I probably should have set these infantry up so now they can't really shoot through each other. But these engineers are relatively decent at close range. We'll capture the radio station. You just move into this large circle, and we'll set up on the way out of town. Hey.
Use the radio station to call up fleet and get replacements for our casualties.
And now we can select soldiers like these ones who've lost. Click the request reinforcements. And then you go here, and one of the drop ships will drop from availability, but as you can see, they come back quite fast, and then the unit gets fully healed. I don't think, for example, the combat engineers are a 3-man squad, and you can't heal them unless they actually lose a squad member. But that's the extent of... there's a little bit of base building where you get to upgrade certain things, and you get to determine which units you get to buy. But that might be something for the next mission, which will be in a future video. I really plan to play through this quite a little bit. Here they come.
Look sharp. Roger that.
There we go, we're set. Our flamers could even... they're just kind of holding off for now. If they get close, we can throw some incendiary grenades. There we go. Gonna stop them from pushing as hard. And they're also getting absolutely destroyed by my grenades and flamethrowers. There's quite a few of them, though. I don't know if we can keep them at bay. The flames are helping a lot, slowing them down. And are they even gonna get to us? The flames are a little... Oh, come on, come on, come on, get him. Just in time.
New order, sir. Bug activity is too strong. Command is recalling you to Delta 4 base. Leave the civies and get yourself home.
It's so cool. It's so funny. I actually had watched Starship Troopers once, super long ago, and I hadn't watched it in at least a decade. So I'm happy I rewatched it before playing this, because it does give you a lot more lore appreciation. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of guys shooting aliens, which is also, I mean, that's never a bad thing, I suppose, but it's very well done. I gotta say, the music, as much as most people probably don't care, I'm a huge fan of good video game music, and I think they did a pretty decent job here. You can see the heavy machine gun towers. These gates, I was gonna say, they actually close, and you can open and close them on command if they are yours, and they are not mine to control as of right now. Okay, we're gonna put flamers near that truck because that's a nice choke point right here, and we're gonna put 2 rifles here. It doesn't look like, oh, we got, oh, these hoppers that they just picked up, those soldiers on the ground. We might have to fall back a little. Okay, well, luckily we do have the machine gun turrets and rifle troopers shooting down. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think we might have survived that. It's going to be a lot of attacking and falling back, and then letting your flames sort of stop them, setting up a new position, engaging them again. And then this mission didn't really have a lot of terrain usage, where you use it for the height. I guess that comes now, where we have to use the wall, though, as you may expect, the enemy Arachnids can and will climb walls, as you might have figured out. Alright, let's set up. We almost have... very close to leveling up, so we might still see a shotgunner here. Okay, our flamers are ready. They're kind of short range on these walls, which is... oh, there we go, level 3. So now we go for the shotgun suppression. Anyone who gets within range, when that's turned on, will get absolutely destroyed. It's awesome. Okay, we're doing all right. Maybe we'll rotate one of these, and we'll get a good grenade in the middle of them over here. Keep blasting. You see, they're trying to climb the walls, but they're just getting hosed down by all the machine guns and rifles. That, I think, is the end of the official first mission. Technically, if you count that sort of introductory tutorial special, sort of reference to the movies, then this is the second one, but this is really the first one of the campaign, and I do plan to play a bunch more, so if you're liking this, let me know. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.